Steve Said from Stanford University. I'm talking about an opportunity with composite materials, which is a recent discovery by us. The current practice in the design of composite structures relies on stacking plies together, and the traditional practice since 1960s is to go 4 angles, 0, 90, plus or minus 45. And on the structure you see in the middle and to the left is a fuselage and a wing structure, consists of multiple bays, and that the design usually optimize the load locally and select the laminates that will carry the load. But the biggest problem deals with the meshing between the elements, because the elements will have different thicknesses of the laminates and different orientations. So that becomes a blending issue that is very, very challenging. In this slide above is the traditional quad we talked about. And you can see on the right-hand side, it is a discrete system. It's a collection of systems. So we are proposing to replace it by what we call a double-double. It's like the hamburger you can get in the In-N-Out. And they got it before we did. And it is a field. It is a continuous. And the advantage of that is it remains at most 4-ply thick. When you change the properties, you change the angles. You can change the angles continuously so that you don't have the blending problem that you have with the traditional quad design. So what happens in the bottom line, what you see on the upper examples, one is a wing and looks like a collection of bricks. And they're stacked there, and it is not optimizable. In fact, I asked the Airbus people how much savings in weight against the aluminum design for their 350 wings. They say they don't know because they never did the calculations. Now, it is self-inflicted because of the angles you require. And to the right, in the upper row, it shows what the internal structure looks like. And you can see that it consists of many, many, or thousands of discontinuities will be the sources of damage, sources of fatigue, and it has become very difficult. And again, for you people who are experts in simulations, is not optimizable because the number of stacking sequences that you can have is in the millions. In the lower level are the examples of what we should do. And the key is to homogenize, to have homogenize across the thickness and homogenize across the in-plane. And you have a clean structure. And that the ply drops could be on the inside to the left, or it could be on the outside and the right. So that the whole idea of having a field theory and recognition of the invariants associated with tensors. And I have to say that we have a new book that has about 2,000 in circulation, and that nobody ever mentioned the relationship between what we propose to do in a double-double as a field theory, except by Mr. Miller sitting here. He is the first one who brought up Maxwell's equations. Maxwell's equations is very important because it replaced the propagation of light that Mr. Newton has so much trouble with, and because he was stuck with the particle theory. A particle theory cannot explain many of the optical phenomena until Maxwell specified with his equations that, in fact, it's a wave phenomena, and that sets the stage for the modern physics as we understand it for the last 150 years, so that we appreciate that Mr. Miller sitting here was the first out of all the people. Thank you very much.